The next tip, again, all these tips are designed to speed the process up. And Fastener Systems is probably one of the most underused assembly tools that I've seen in Solid Edge. And it can really save you a lot of time. Now, Fastener System allow the user to select a standard bolt and related hardware and place it into the assembly. So if you're building a machine and you're placing in hundreds of nuts and bolts, washers, whatever, this would be a really powerful tool if you're not already using it. It does require that you have the standard part library, but you don't need to have the purchase library. You can install the free component of the standard parts library and use those components in there, or add to the free library, make your own components. There's ways to do that. But it really is a huge time saver. So let's have a look at this.
Now, before I run the Fastener System command, I just want to point out that I do have my standard library installed. Now, you do not have to install the purchase library. You can install the free component that comes with Solid Edge and utilize those components in there, or you can add your own to the free as well. But you do have to have that set up. And then I'll go up to here and I'll say Fastener System. I have several options. I can do a single hole, I can do top hole in plane, or all on face. So I'll pick all on face. I'll select the top edge, and it grabs all the other sized holes, the same size holes on the top face here. And I'll accept those. Then I'm prompted to pick the bottom. So I'm going to go down and pick the bottom hole. And then that brings up this dialog here. And here I can go in, and you notice even though it's defaulted to Imperial, I can go in and add metric if I wish. But I'm going to actually use the Imperial. So it's found 2 bolts that it thinks could fit into this hole. So I'm going to select the 3/8. I'm going to add that. And then I can go and build my top stack. So let's go and add a washer here. And we'll use the 3/8 washer, so we'll add that, and it's placed in the top stack. And then we'll do the bottom stack. We'll add another washer to the bottom stack. You see it's placed there. And then we'll add a nut, and it's placed there. Now I can preview this in the assembly. And you can see down here I get a preview of the stack. And if I'm happy with that, I can actually save it so I don't have to go through and select all these again if I want to reuse this. Or I can go in and simply say OK, and it'll populate the rest of the holes for me. We'll hit finish. You'll notice over here we have the original fastener and then all the other 5. So you can see we've placed 20 components in a very quick fashion. So that's the Fastener Systems.
Tip number 11, save as flat. Now the save as flat command creates a DXF output. Couple of misconceptions about this, or a couple of unknowns. We've been getting several questions on our tech line, so I thought I would add this in. So this can be accessed through the application button under save as flat. The resulting geometry is merged for efficient toolpath routing during CNC programming. That's what it's really designed to send this out to your sheet metal manufacturing software. A drawing can be produced from this DXF, but it will not be associative to the sheet metal file. The trick is to make sure you understand these options here. A lot of people do a save as flat and then send it out, and we get complaints, oh, they don't want the center lines there, or they do want the center lines, but they wanted a different color. This can all be handled through this option dialog. So let's have a look at this demo.
So in this demo, not only do I want to point out the save as flat command, but I want to introduce a few options and maybe clear up some misconceptions. The first thing to notice here is if we go to our solid edge options, flat pattern treatments, there's the save as flat command. You can set it to use the folded model or use existing flat pattern if it exists. Otherwise, it'll use the folded model. So that should tell you you don't have to have a flat pattern already created to use this. So in this example here, I can go up and do a save as flat. I'll click save as flat. And then you'll notice I'm prompted to pick a face and an edge for orientation. And then I can go in and give it a name. Now, before I do that, I encourage people to look at this options. In here, you can set up what you want exported out. For example, most of these colors by default are set to green. So my outer loop, I'm going to change that to white. Now, this is the AutoCAD white. So if it's a white background, it'll come out black. So I've set my outer loop to white. Maybe I don't want to export my center line, so I can actually turn the center lines off. So notice it says export to DXF. I can turn those off. I'm going to say OK to this. And then I'm going to save this in a designated file. Now let's go open this. And we'll fit the screen. And you'll notice how it's come out black. There's no center lines showing up. So there's my DXF file created without having to create a flat pattern. Let's close this. Now let's go back in here and this time we'll create a flat pattern. And now we'll do a save as, and then a save as flat. Notice it doesn't prompt me for the orientation because I've said to use the same fold lines. This time let's go in to the options and we'll export these center lines here. And notice the color here is cyan. Let's leave it at that so you can see what happens. We'll say OK. We'll save this. I'm going to overwrite the existing file. And now let's go open the DXF. And again, we'll fit the screen. And you'll notice the cyan color here. So you can see you can control what's exported, what kind of color it is, and so forth. Just one other thing to point out here. When you do the save as flat, you have other options available. So for example, export etch text as a text box, export X text as geometry. Notice here we have different versions. Notice here, how do you want your bend data exported out? And we also have font mapping. Now, generally, you're going to set this up once, talk to your people in the shop or whoever deals with your flat patterns and your DXF files. Set this up to match their needs. And once it's set, it remembers that setting and you don't have to do it every single time. So hopefully this clears up any misconceptions about the save as flat and answers any as yet unanswered questions. As I said, we tend to get a lot of questions on this regarding save as flat on our tech line. So that's why I've put this in here.
Format code. This was added a couple of releases ago. And this option makes it easier to modify the format code values of reference text and property text. You can use the format value dialog box to insert format codes directly into the property text and reference text strings. This is available in draft, ordered sketch, and PMI. You'll find this, for example, in the callout command, and that's what I'll use to demonstrate this. So how does this work? When you first go in, this will be grayed out. What you do is you have to highlight your text up here, and then you can click on the format and you can go in and customize the format of this code. Now, this can be done manually, but a lot of people were confused and didn't understand the formatting code. So we've created this dialog to make it easier. Let's have a look at the demo.
Now, just before I demonstrate the format option, just want to make sure everyone's aware of the format codes inside Solid Edge. These codes can be used to modify the output of your property text in a callout or text note, for example. I've created a PDF with all the listed codes here and shows you how to format it manually. We also have this new option, relatively new option called Format. Now you can download this sheet from our website, or you can use this new option. You'll notice here the date has come out beyond here. So I'm going to go in and edit this. And I'll go into my callout. You have to highlight this so it turns red. And the format value becomes available then. We can click on it. Under here, the date. I can change this date to be numerical, for example. I'll say OK, and you can see this updates. I'll say OK, and it puts that in. I can go in, and you'll see there are several different formats in here. And you can see for the date, there's quite a few options. So maybe I want the abbreviated one here. Or we can go with this abbreviated one here. We'll say OK. And we'll say OK again. And now the date fits within there. It looks a little more legible. Other things you can do, for example, I can go in, let's edit my name here. Highlight so that turns red. Click on Format. And I can go in and make it all uppercase without having to go in and retype it. Say OK. So that's just a couple of examples there. Now, another thing I've done just to make life a little easier for everyone is a lot of people have also asked me about the property text symbols here. I call this the percent language. So I've created a document that shows you what all the various percent language symbols mean here. So you can download this from the same place. For example, if you want to go in and put in a center line, you could use the center line command, and that's just the %CL, just to give you an example. So again, along with the formatted codes, you can also download the property text codes from our web page. Let's go back to our presentation.
So as I said, this is a baker's dozen. So the 13th and final tip is the license usability. This has been updated recently. And what this allows you to do is utilize the license utility to change your Solid Edge into a viewer, which is the same as the free 2D. Now, this is a really powerful option for your company. Let's say, for example, you have a manager who doesn't want to actually utilize Solid Edge for CAD. He just wants to be able to go in and look at the model, maybe check the Pathfinder and maybe do a measurement. You can install Solid Edge on his computer and then run the license utility and say, I want to use the free 2D draft, or I want to use the viewer. And this will turn that into the viewer or the 2D draft. This will then not affect any of your licensing if you're using, for example, floating licenses. So it's a way of getting a free 2D drafting or free viewer onto somebody else's computer. Another example is you may currently be forced to be paying AutoCAD some money on their subscription because you do some basic 2D stuff that that person doesn't want to give up his AutoCAD. Well, you can give him the free 2D Solid Edge, the 2D drafting, and he can do just about everything he can do in basic AutoCAD, you can do inside the free 2D drafting. So it's another way to save a little money and at the same time give your users and your employees the tool that they need to get through the day. Now, I just want to point out, we have shown you 13 different tips here. If you know most of them, probably send me your application because you're probably smarter than half the guys I deal with. But if you know, keep in mind that the system is only as good as the person is trained on it to use it. So use our online training. It's a lot cheaper now to get trained, and it's a lot more easier for you to train your staff. Also, check out our blog, because previous tips or tricks, there was one we put up at the end of last year. There's one from the year before, and I believe the one from the year before is there as well. So if you've liked what you've seen here, remember to check out our blog.